Okay, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this next Ivinex webinar about display conditions. My name is Brett Lund. I'm going to be the presenter/host today. And what we're going to do is we're going to talk about display conditions. We're going to learn how to build them and also go through a few different ways of how to use them. During the webinar, there is a chat icon on your Join Me widget toward the top of your screen. If you have questions during the webinar, feel free to submit them via chat. The only audio that will be enabled is my own. If you do submit questions, I'm going to do my best to answer them during the webinar and or modify what I'm doing to actually build a demonstration to help answer your question. Okay. So I think before we actually get started on building them, let's talk just a little bit about what a display condition is. What does it do? The display conditions are essentially filters that you set up that can be applied to different elements in Ivinex, like maybe a sub-tab or a field or even a field option. The purpose of the display condition, and this is maybe a little crazy, but the purpose of it is to display something if the filter conditions match or are evaluated as true. So in certain conditions, show something, and if those conditions aren't met, hide it. So it can come in handy if you want to, show or hide different elements until a predetermined, action takes place, or maybe you're waiting for some specific data to be, filled out a certain way, and then at that point, show or hide something in your data module. Now, I really didn't create any slides for this webinar because I think it's the best way to learn about it is probably just to see display conditions in action. So I think we're just going to get started building some of these and see how they work. So let's just, I'll log in here. And we'll just build it. All right, zoom in a little bit. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the admin tool as well as the front end. And we're going to go to a module I kind of pre-set up. Let's see, let me find it. Demo display. Okay, so I've got a few different fields here. I've kind of group them together here a little bit to try to represent different things that you could do. And I've already kind of set up some different display conditions, and I'm going to go over each one and apply them to different elements to kind of show you how you could use them. So the first one I want to do is probably the most simple kind of display condition, which is I've got a field here for do you like pizza? And maybe if it's yes, then I don't need to do anything. But if it's no, maybe I want to show a field and capture, why not? What's the reason? Why don't you like pizza? Everyone likes pizza. But if you don't, I want to find out why. So that's a very simple, if no, show this field. So I'm looking for a specific value here and then show a field. So what display condition would that be? Let me just give myself a little room since I zoomed in. I'm going to pick this one called Don't Like Pizza. I'm going to edit that. It's very straightforward, just like most filters that you would build. First thing we do is you actually build it like a filter too. So I say add criteria, and I have to pick a field that I'm going to base it off of. Do you like pizza field? And then I'm looking for something over here. If it's equal to no, that's pretty much all I have to do. I'm just looking for the filter to evaluate as, true not yes, but it has to get past the filter. So if do you like pizza is equal to no, then this is in effect. So save that. And then what do I do with that display condition? I'm going to apply it to something, and I'm going to apply it to this field. So I'm going to pick the why not field. I'm going to pick over here in field display options, and this shows up for every field you pick. So if I pick this one, I get different options. So I'm going to pick this one, and there's this setting right here called display when. Normally the default is kind of set to always, and that may be all that you have in your dropdown. But if you've set up display conditions, like a bunch of them, you'll be able to choose them. So display when you don't like pizza. So that's when that field right there that I've selected is going to show up. Click Save. And now it's gone. And the admin tool does kind of work the same as the front end. So, it's good for developing because you can see that's already working right now. If I hit yes, nothing happens. If I hit no, all of a sudden there's my field. So let's go see if that's actually working on the front end. I've got this little record here. Do I like pizza? No. Why not? I have no idea. I don't like cheese. So we're going to save that. And so you can see that just showing and hiding a field can be helpful. There's many different ways I've seen this used. We do have a specific module in Ivinex you can build called the survey module. That's another webinar that's going to be coming up. But, conditional fields that questions that maybe you're asking, and then based off the response, maybe show a field. I don't know. That's a good example of just maybe when you would want to show a field based off some piece of data. So very simple example. Okay. This other one is similar. This other example I'm going to show you. This has a field called event, and maybe I've got a few choices, 1, 2, 3, and event booked. Maybe it's a date, time, and then I've just got a static field that says this event has been booked. That's the text inside of it. Good job. That's all it says. So maybe I want to give some feedback to people as they're using the system. So again, it's going to be a fairly straightforward filter, but a little bit more than this first one. So let's see which one that would be. It's called the event booked display condition. We're going to edit that. And this one has 2 criteria. It's got if the event, this field, is not equal to blank, meaning somebody picks something like, event 3, and event booked is also not blank, meaning somebody actually filled that in, then this will evaluate to true, and that's about it. And then I would just need to apply it to something. So I'm going to apply it to this static field, and you can show hide static fields as well. So I'm going to pick it, display when, event booked, save, and let's go test that. Okay, so it's gone. And event 1, some date in there, save it, reload my record, and this event has been booked. Good job. So another example of just showing something, at the right time based off some data here. Okay, let's do another one, but we'll take it a step further. You've got these tabs. These are sub-tabs that you can add by clicking this new tab thing. That's just a way to segment your data like this. Maybe I've got different fields in different areas, so it's not all on the first page. You can also control these. You can show or hide these sub-tabs. And I've built a couple display conditions. A good example of this is maybe, I don't know, maybe you've got a service that you offer and you're tracking data about that. And if it requires a service contract, and somebody checks that, then maybe when I click that, all of a sudden a new tab shows up and I've got a bunch of different fields I got to fill out. That's one way you could do it, which is what I will be demonstrating. So let's find a service contract. And again, very simple filter. If the service contract is equal to true, which is checkboxes, true, false, something like that, I'm waiting for it to be checked. If it's checked, this whole display condition evaluates as true, so then it's in effect. So I'm going to pick, instead of a field, I'm going to pick this subtab. And we have the display when option again. We're going to say service contract display condition applies to this subtab. Click update, and it's gone. So filling out my details. Oh, yep, this requires a service contract. I click it. All of a sudden it's there, and I can continue on, filling out additional data. So maybe only when needed. It's a good example of that. Details required. It's kind of I guess we could do that one too. That's exactly the same thing. Details, edit. If the details required is equal to true, then we'll just apply it to this one. Display when, details is what I called it, update. Now we're down to just 2 of these. That's it. Service contract shows up, details required, details. So it's a good way to do it. Okay, this is probably going to be a really quick webinar because display conditions, I think, are really easy to comprehend how they work, and the sky is kind of the limit on how you specific to your business process. If you need to show and hide certain things, it's kind of up to you how you want to use them. But the concept of it is really quite simple. Let's do another one. Here's an admin tab. You guys, if you've been to a few of these webinars, you see I probably always have this. I kind of like to set up my data modules with a specific tab that only the administrators of the site can see, because most of the time I'm going to be tracking, I'm going to have fields that people will interact with normally, and then there's going to be maybe some other kind of, they don't need to see this data, normal users, or maybe there's additional fields tracking other pieces of data that the normal user doesn't really care to see or doesn't know about, but maybe it powers other processes or workflows or things like that. So I normally create an admin tab and then stick my special fields in there. And instead of basing a display condition on this one, because I don't want normal users to see it, and instead of basing it off some kind of field in here, I've got some other options available to me to show or hide this. So let's go to the admin visibility display condition. Let's edit that. Okay, so you've got, of course, all the fields in your module that you can use to build a display condition, and then you've got a few global variables like current user. So maybe if the current user was equal to Joe, one person maybe, that's when I could show that field or this subtab or something along those lines. I find that works, but I think maybe group level might be the best choice. Everyone in an admin group is able to, see something. So I selected current group. If it's equal to the admin group, you would just pick what group, and that varies depending on how many groups you have. Then this would evaluate to true and be in effect. So I'm going to pick my admin group. And I think I am an admin in this system, so it probably won't disappear, but you get the idea. Display when, admin visibility. And yeah, I'm in the admin group. So how would I see things? I just come to this record and I would see this, but non-admin people would not see it. So a way to completely hide a whole section of, it could be a bunch of fields in here or anything you want. And no one would know it was there unless they were in the admin group. So that's another way you can use display conditions. I find that one to be quite common. A lot of people use it. Works good. So what else? Okay. Field options. That's another way you can use display conditions. I think maybe some people may know about this, but I don't think everyone knows about this one. Let's take this field, size. Now for this one I've got a few options. Small, medium, and large. So maybe I'm taking an order or something. Someone's ordering a shirt. And these are the sizes that I offer. And then I've got another field, color. White, black, red, green, blue. And maybe based off of what I choose here, I will only have certain things to pick from here. Like right now I have all of them. But maybe I only have white or a red shirt. Well, let's see, how can we say that? In small, I've only got certain colors, medium, certain colors, and maybe they share. Maybe medium and large both have white and small doesn't, kind of thing. So a conditional drop down based off the previous choice is kind of what I'm describing there. So let's figure out some display conditions for that. So I've got one called small, and we're going to edit that. So if the size is equal to small, then that's in effect. Okay, so that one's good. I'm waiting for someone to pick small. Medium, same thing. Size is equal to medium, so I've got a condition for that. And then I've done another one here. What if the size is equal to medium or the size is equal to large? So maybe I have a color that is available if it's medium or if it's large. So I've kind of built another filter for that, or display condition, excuse me. All right, so now I've got all those. So let's go to the color select box. And this familiar column here, the display when, which is up here, I can apply something to the entire field. But instead what I'm going to do is use display conditions per option. The default is always, but I'm going to fix that. So white is available when it's medium and large. Black, I don't know. What I should have done, I should have made an all. What if I had an all, there's a color available to all, but I didn't build that. So we're going to do small and small for red. Green will be medium and large, and blue is just medium. So there's a couple variations. We'll save that. All right, what do we got? 0 choices. Why? Because every one of these has a display condition on it. I guess I could do that one. That'd probably work. I don't need an all version. White's always available. But it's kind of nice if I set all of them up with a display condition, because it would force you to pick something up here. Otherwise, you couldn't pick anything there. So I'm going to go back to, what did I do? Small, small, medium, do medium, large again. Okay? I cannot pick a color. So let's pick a shirt or a size. Small, black and red, medium, white, green, blue, and large, white, green. So again, display conditions inside of the select, I think that's quite useful, where you can build and you can go as far as you want. You could have 5 different select boxes, and they all depend on the previous choice, before it, or even a combination of, if that's large and this is red, then we offer this special emblem, that you can put on your shirt. So kind of a ton of functionality there, depending on how you want to use it. Okay, I'm trying to think if I'd built anything else here. No. that's kind of it. That's kind of display conditions, the crash course there. Again, as an overview, you can use it to for subtabs, fields, any kind of field, and then even inside of some fields, anything that's got multiple options, like this one. Do you like pizza? It's got a couple options, so I could apply something to that. If medium, then show the no value, which is totally ridiculous, but would work. So medium, all of a sudden here's no over here. So, these fields, they can all interact with each other. But field options like this, you just need some kind of field that supports multiple choices, or different choices, multiple options is what I mean. And that's about it. Are there any questions about what I've shown you so far, and something that may not be clear on how to build display conditions and how to apply them to different elements and use them? Any questions at all? Nope. I'm going to give it another second because sometimes I think people submit a question, it takes them a minute to type it up. Great info. Okay. I'm glad you like it. It's a very simple concept, and I'm sure you can think of lots of creative ways, to work with display conditions. All right, so we're going to go back to here, and that's it. Really, this was a short one, not even 30 minutes. But again, we do have the Ivinex training site. I post all webinars, videos on there. I'm recording this now, so you can find them on training.ivinex.com. Leave me a comment. You can also subscribe to the webinar email list, bottom right corner. I also post the next, make sure you're on the list. I'm sure you are if you're here, but I send out an email every time I schedule one of these. It's every Wednesday. I also post them on our Facebook page. You can confirm you're attending, or even, just like that page, and then the event will come into your Facebook feed. And what else? Leave me some comments. If you have questions, you can also leave comments. I will reply. So, looks like somebody's saying they always want to redo their site after these trainings. Well, that's great. I hope you find them useful. I hope you get some good ideas from these webinars. So, anyway, again, I want to thank everybody from coming to this one. It was a short one, but I think it's a good concept. These display conditions can be used in a lot of ways. So thanks again, and we'll see you all next time.